Tristan Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Tristan Law, semi-retired pro wrestling. Today, I'm your host. You ever think the show is over and then the air just gets sucked out the building? That's what happened at MetLife Stadium last night when I was there live. Cody Rhodes just had the match of his life and John Cena was getting his flowers. People were starting to leave and then boom, Brock Lesnar just came out of nowhere, popped up like a pimple, like the guy you didn't even ask for. Well, today's episode, we're going to start with that moment. The return of the Beast. Then we're going to dive into the longest match into WWE history in MetLife Stadium. That's John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. We might have also seen Cena's last stand. I was there both nights, and I've got a lot to say. If you missed the last night, if you missed night one, you could watch that after this, but we're talking about night two today. And I barely have a voice to do this, and we are going to, we're going to knock this out the park today. We're knocking this out the park today. If it's your first time watching, whether you're live or on demand, it's fully interactive. I love when you respond in the comments. I respond to everything. I read everything. I love it that you're here. We're building a community to where we talk with each other, not at each other. Coming up also, we're going to be talking about Naomi. She pulls a fast one. Becky gets violent. Jacob Fatu, he goes airborne in a steel cage. Let's go! So, all right. So fans were leaving the arena at the end of the match with Brock Lesnar, with John Cena and Cody Rhodes. And I was telling my friend Lewis, that was with me. I was telling him. And I'm going to say it because it's Monday. Heel Vega, give me a chance. I can say it because it's not the Lord's day. I was telling him that there was going to be some bullshit after the match. Maybe it was The Rock coming back. He was saying, oh, it was Travis Scott. He was saying that to piss me off. I know that. But I knew there was some kind of tomfoolery was going to happen after the match. Because Triple H said the night before, oh, if you think you like Saturday night, oh, you haven't seen nothing yet. I'll be honest, by that time, when that final bell rang, we didn't really see anything yet. But then the music started playing, and people started turning around and running down the stairs. Imagine if they just had stayed. Imagine. I do want to give credit, though, to Heel Vega. Heel Vega watched yesterday's show live, and it's the thing about being live is that you get to throw your comments in there. Heel Vega, I want to give him the credit. He was the one that said Brock Lesnar, and he was joking. I was like, how does Brock Lesnar fit? I guess he figured it out. You know what, Heel Vega? You get a hand clap. What happened, though? What happened was, I am glad that John Cena is an actor because John Cena's facial expressions are everything. Because when you see this guy pop up into the scene, you know that you're in trouble. Like when I saw Brock Lesnar pop up last night at SummerSlam, I was like, you know what? I'm glad I'm not John Cena. I'm glad I don't have to fight Brock Lesnar for money for real or pretend fight Brock Lesnar. Because Brock Lesnar just looks like, look, if I'm walking down the street and it's only one way for me to pass and Brock Lesnar looks like he's angry, I'm turning around and taking the long way. I'm not going to lie. John Cena exploded back into the scene out of nowhere, and he F5'd John Cena and stared the camera down. The reaction in person was shock. The building shook when Brock Lesnar came out. Do not let anybody bamboozle you, flim-flam you, and hit you with the okie doke. Because when we were there in person, everybody cheered for Brock Lesnar. There might have been people who didn't cheer for Brock Lesnar because of the whole Vince McMahon allegations and all the other stuff that are going on. But let me tell you, if I had to put a percentage on it, 99% of the people cheered for Brock Lesnar in person. Stay off the internet. But however, I want to say this. One of the things that you know about me, if you've been here before, is that I'm like, yo, I love you. I love your own opinion. If you feel that Brock Lesnar shouldn't be there for whatever reason, that's okay. If you feel that Brock Lesnar should be there for whatever reason, that's okay too. I want to hear from you. Do you think that Brock Lesnar should even be in the WWE right now? Go ahead, tell me in the comments. Whether you're watching this live or on demand, the best part is if you're watching it live, you get to be a part of the show. Brock Lesnar hasn't been seen in months, and he hasn't been expected at all. I don't care what anybody tells me. The WWE feeds false information to the internet. Just a couple days ago, I was casually reading on the internet that WWE does not want to use Brock Lesnar anymore because the lawyer said that it's too messy, it's too this, it's too that. We got bamboozled, we got flim-flammed. Sometimes when I read, 9 times out of 10, when I read things on the internet about pro wrestling, I take it with the biggest grain of salt that you could ever see in your entire life. Because you know what? I still like to be entertained. I like to be shocked. I like to be flim-flam, bamboozled, and scammed when I watch pro wrestling. Nobody expected to see Brock Lesnar at all because of the whole lawsuit thing. But you got to remember this, that there are no charges filed against Brock Lesnar. And he was just named as a person in the lawsuit. There are people that I've seen in my entire lifetime walking around talking about free Pookie and up, right? Free man. Free all of them. They're out here selling drugs to the community. They're out here assaulting the community, robbing the community, walking around with other people's shoes around their neck like they're Bronson Reed. And they're talking about freedom. But it's like, okay, so yeah, I get it. Maybe we hold our idols to bigger standards. Like, don't get it wrong. I'm just a YouTube personality and a semi-retired pro wrestler, Tristan Law, your host. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hold myself to a high standard and a high decorum because I don't want it to be that there's somebody, regardless of your level of fame, and I've told this to independent wrestlers, regardless if it's your first match, your 100th match, your 10,000th match, whether you're on the low card on the WWE, whether you're on the main event of the WWE, wherever you are, somebody looks up to you one way or another. And when they look up to you, you have to do the right thing. That's just me. That's my personal accountability. I'm all big for accountability. If Brock Lesnar did something, I think that Brock Lesnar needs to be held accountable. But you know what? They haven't had the court case or anything like that. For me, it's just a double standard when it comes to cancel culture. Well, you know, we cancel some, but we don't cancel all. I don't know. Coming up later on, I'm going to talk about, here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you my match of the night, my moment of the night, my most rewatchable moment, and my wrestler of the night. I want to hear from you. I'm going to give that to you. Let's plan that after Dominic Mysterio. After Dominic Mysterio's match with Eddie Guerrero. Might as well have been Eddie Guerrero. After his match with AJ Styles, that's what we're going to be talking about it there. But Brock and Cena, if you ask me, I think it's poetic symmetry. I think that Cena really, Kurt Angle helped John Cena launch his career. But I think that John Cena built his original career off the back of Brock Lesnar. And now for him to possibly close the door on Brock Lesnar, I just don't even know what to say.
Thank you.
Maybe thank you is the right word. Like, it's just like, for me, my thing was, all right, so if Brock Lesnar, now that Brock Lesnar comes out and attack, my thing was, if John Cena loses to Cody Rhodes, which he did last night, not a secret, what's next? What's next for John Cena? And if I was John Cena, I'd go find something else to do. John Cena has the right now to just say, you know what? You're not supposed to be here till it's December. How about I just leave now? The look in his face, John Cena knew that he was in big problems. He's in big problems with Brock Lesnar, and we're going to have to keep it locked. We're all going to be watching Raw tonight just to see if Brock Lesnar shows up. Why did Brock Lesnar choose John Cena? He should have chose Cody Rhodes. Wasn't Cody Rhodes the last one he beat? He could have chose Roman Reigns, right? Didn't Roman Reigns take the championship off of him? But why John Cena? That is why we're going to have to watch Monday Night Raw, because the question is going to be why. Let's go to the chat. Let's see. Heel Vega said he would have had to strangle I would have had to strangle my friend if Travis Scott had emerged. Yeah, I probably would have F5'd him right there in section 117, 25, seat 23, 22, whatever our seats were. Yeah. Speaking of facial expression, Montel Ford's facial expression when Candice dropped through the ladder was amazing. Yeah, 100%. Because where do you think that Johnny Gargano's going to be sleeping for the rest of the week? The couch? I think so. Brock Lesnar was named 44 times, but even Janelle Grant's lawyer stated that the lawsuit doesn't accuse Brock of any wrongdoing, just a controversial move to bring him back. Yeah, I agree. He wasn't accused of anything, right? They just mentioned his name. Don't mention my name, because I wasn't there. I'm not into that level of freaky that Vince McMahon is. He says that AJ Styles' tights were fire. Thank you so much for your comments. We're going to have to watch Raw tonight at the Barclays Center. I might end up there. I don't know. I don't know. We're going to have to watch Raw just to see exactly what happens. Why? Why, Brock? Why? Why now? What? I'm talking about not in the storyline. I'm talking about outside of the storyline. I'm saying, why, Brock? Why? Why did you choose to come back now? Why did you choose to come back for John Cena? When did you choose to come back for John Cena? How did you get there? Nobody knew. Maybe it was a secret. I hear that WWE Unreal Season 2 was recording, so that's where we're going to go ahead and get the T next year. I don't know. Watch WWE Unreal if you haven't. We're talking about John Cena. Let's rewind a little bit, because before that F5, before Scary Big Brock Lesnar came out, he had absolute war with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is the new undisputed WWE champion. And I still don't understand the term undisputed, because you can dispute it. Because isn't Seth Rollins the world heavyweight champion? So how are you the undisputed WWE world champion, heavyweight champion? None of it makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense. But Cody Rhodes, he is the new champion. But here's my question. Where is the street fight? We didn't get a street fight last night. We got an Extreme Rules match, right? Because if it's a street fight, why wasn't it on the street? If it was a street fight, it should have taken place right outside the arena. If it was a street fight, it should have took place right on Route 3, right outside of MetLife Stadium. Certain matches that I don't understand. I don't understand how WWE just does no-holds-barred matches. Okay, fine. We're gonna do a no-holds-barred match, but where's the move that is barred? Oh, there isn't any. Oh, of course. That makes sense. Okay, so fine. If we're going to do a street fight, why is it not in the street? We just choose street fight because it sounds cool? Is anybody in the WWE listening? If anything, it should have been an arena fight, maybe a fight around the arena match, but we're just going to choose street fight because street fight sounds cool. Yeah, they fought in the crowd for a little bit. I'm like, yeah, we're going to get the street fight. Y'all didn't fight on the mezzanine. Y'all didn't fight up into the crowd. Y'all didn't do any of that. But it still wouldn't be a street fight because you never touch the street. The one time when I did a street fight, I said, you know what? We got to touch the street. At least one time. One time we've got to touch the street. Even if that means I punch you in the face and you walk out the door and come back in. It's a street fight. We touch the street. But it's not a street fight if it's just in the confines of the arena. That match between Cody Rhodes and John Cena, it made history in MetLife Stadium, believe it or not. That match was the longest match for WWE in MetLife Stadium. Look it up if you don't believe me. Don't look it up now. Just listen. I'm talking to you. Don't go nowhere. That title was owned by Gunther and CM Punk the night before. They went about 30 minutes, but Cena and Cody went 37 minutes. This match here was probably the greatest match that Cody Rhodes has had since he's come back. There wasn't too much emotion in it. I think more emotion was put into the him trying to, finish the story. That's where most of the emotion was put into. But I 100% believe that this match here was a torch passing moment for Cody Rhodes. 100%. He was the one that got the torch from John Cena. He got the crown from John Cena. John Cena said, you know what? You are now the man for this new generation. Believe it or not, that is what happened in that match. The fans showed up strong for John Cena. The night before, there wasn't so many John Cena t-shirts. Y'all remember that WrestleMania where it was nothing but just straight John Cena's on the stage and John Cena had to run past John Cena's? That's what it looked like yesterday, except that most of the John Cenas bought a ticket. Everybody was dressed up as John Cena, even one of my favorite independent wrestlers. Not going to drop his name, but I saw him there. He was dressed up like John Cena. No problem with that, right? Because I feel like, look, I came from a generation where I was trained in pro wrestling to not be a mark. I was trained in pro wrestling to not go to watch wrestling because we should rightfully be the ones on the show buying the merch and everything like that. So sometimes even wearing a wrestling t-shirt to a wrestling show, I still feel a certain kind of way like it's something I shouldn't be doing. But like, the biggest marks in the business, in pro wrestling, around pro wrestling, the biggest marks in pro wrestling are not you, the fans. The biggest marks in pro wrestling are the wrestlers. Yeah. Because we sat there and we saw it so much that we decided that, you know what? We're going to go ahead and we're going to go pay money. I've paid good money to learn how to wrestle. I've learned from some of the greatest, Devon Dudley, Bubba Ray Dudley, Nunzio, and a bunch of other people. Everybody dressed out and they showed out for John Cena last night. You know what? I was glad too, though, because I was never a John Cena fan when we're doing that time. Because maybe I was a little bit too old for John Cena. I don't know. But my thing with John Cena is that, just like Hulk Hogan, I respect the contributions that John Cena has made to pro wrestling. John Cena has made a lot of contributions to pro wrestling. When wrestling sucked, WWE, pro wrestling was on the back of John Cena. I'm not just saying the WWE, I'm saying all of pro wrestling, because I strongly believe in my heart that WWE, they lead they lead the pack when it comes to pro wrestling. When WWE does good, every single body, person, entity, organization, company, all of that, they all do good as well too. So it's within the best interest for WWE to do good. Because if WWE didn't do good, there'd be no reason for AEW. Why would AEW be here, right? If WWE wasn't doing good, I don't think there would be a resurgence with TNA right now. And TNA is doing some real hot shit, but we're not even talking about TNA right now. Heel Vega says in the chat, anyone opposing Cody from this point will need a shotgun to beat him now. 7 AAs and he kicked out of them all. Yeah, even a super AA. And John Cena still couldn't finish Cody. I don't know. I guess that Cody had a lot on the line and he didn't want to lose it. But let me tell you something. I do think it's kind of goofy how they changed John Cena from heel to babyface. Like, I get it. So they could open the door for Brock Lesnar to come to him and everything else like that. Like, fine. I get it. Maybe some people say that John Cena being heel, maybe it ran its course. It was like, all right, guys, thanks for coming. Nothing more to see here. See you next time. Like, did we really see everything that John Cena had to offer us as a heel? Here's the real question. Did John Cena even need to be a heel at this point? I think some people say no, some people say yes. I think that it was nice, me personally, but I just think that it's played its course. I'm asking you in a live poll, if you're watching live, I'm asking you which night was better for SummerSlam. Was night 1 better or night 2 better? Right now it's 50-50. And there's also a I didn't watch. If you come in here right now and you're watching live and you click I didn't watch, I need you to shout your name out. Shout your name out. Put yourself in there and say, I didn't watch. Heel Vega, did you watch? Because I know you don't watch wrestling all the time. Did you watch? That's an important question. Like I said before, this match here did more for Cody Rhodes than it did with him winning the championship the first time. I think it's goofy how they just flipped John Cena, though. It's goofy. Cody Rhodes, though, Cody Rhodes is the heel. This guy right here. And your new undisputed champion, Cody Rhodes, he's the heel. I'll tell you how Cody Rhodes is the heel. Cody Rhodes made John Cena sign that contract. He didn't ask him. He forced him to sign the contract. He didn't ask him. Cody Rhodes fought that match like a heel. Granted, it was a street fight, and it was like, but why did we need a street fight? Why? I don't understand that portion of why it was a street fight. Maybe it was just a way to label a match. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be having a street fight. You know what? Good for y'all. I have said this more times than you can find the word God in the Bible. I don't know how many times you find God in the Bible. I don't know. That's not what we're talking about right now. The point I'm trying to make is that I've said this a lot of times. I've said that Cody Rhodes is a heel. People have roasted me on the internet, and that's fine. I appreciate your opinion. As long as we can have our opinions oppose each other, and what we do is we're respectful of each other at the end. We're not opponents here. We're all brothers and sisters in pro wrestling, and that's what brings us together. But people have told me that Cody Rhodes is not a heel. The only reason Cody Rhodes is not a heel is because you got so much Cody Rhodes merch, and you don't know where to put it. I said that. You've got more Cody Rhodes merch than WWE shop, and if Cody Rhodes turns heel, you don't even know what to do with it. So you don't want Cody Rhodes to turn heel because you can't wear Cody Rhodes shirt anymore. Cody Rhodes is a heel. I don't care what anybody tells me. He's too goody two-shoes. Cody Rhodes had to leave the company because nobody cared about it. Y'all didn't care about Cody Rhodes. Y'all didn't care about Cody Rhodes when Cody Rhodes was having his face painted, running around calling himself Stardust. Cody Rhodes thought that y'all would have respected him because he was the son of a plumber. Cody Rhodes is the son of a plumber, and y'all didn't respect him. That man had to leave to go to AEW, had to go to the Indies, dye his hair blonde, almost kill himself in fire, put a big ugly tattoo on his neck to come back to the WWE, to come out the floor for y'all to like him. Y'all don't respect Cody Rhodes. It's just cool to like Cody Rhodes right now. Cody Rhodes is it. Cody Rhodes is the flavor of the month for most of you right now. Oh, it's fine to say that that John Cena had his SummerSlam debut against two black men. I seen that meme this morning. The first one against Booker T and the second one against Cody Rhodes. It's funny. It's funny. Y'all saying that Cody Rhodes is black because he's married to Brandy. Kind of funny. But y'all only like Cody Rhodes right now. Cody, Raheem Rhodes is what y'all call him. Y'all just put a bunch of black names together and put it in the middle of Cody and Rhodes. Y'all just like Cody Rhodes because he's the flavor of the month. And I can't wait for Cody Rhodes to turn heel. There was a guy sitting right in front of me in my section. And he had a Cody Rhodes toy in his hand. And I said I couldn't wait for Cody Rhodes to turn heel. Because I want you to pop the head off. I want you to throw the doll. I want you to pull all the arms and legs off and just leave it laying because you're upset. You bought your doll. You bought your action figure. Because Cody Rhodes is the man. Cody Rhodes is the man. Cody Rhodes don't like you. Cody Rhodes is strategic. All Cody Rhodes wants to do is build up his empire so he can get that money. So that the next time that y'all don't like him, he don't have to wrestle the indies. So that the next time y'all don't like him, he doesn't have to go start his own pro wrestling company. Cody Rhodes is in business for himself. Yeah. But y'all not listening to me. I am the only person on the internet that is saying that Cody Rhodes is a heel. But no, y'all want to fight me. Y'all want to fight me. Y'all want to argue with me. I'm proving my case. Cody Rhodes is a heel because after he lost to John Cena at WrestleMania, he went away. That's not what makes him a heel. But then he came back to right before Saturday night's main event and put Jey Uso in the tag team match. Jey Uso ain't asked to be in a tag team match with him. Jey Uso got his own problems. But now all of a sudden, Jey Uso in a tag team match with Cody Rhodes as his partner? Oh, what about the contract signing? John Cena didn't want to sign the contract. He was getting ready to walk away. So instead of letting him walk away, what you do is you go get him, Cody Rhodes. And then you take his hand and you forge the contract. John Cena even mentioned that you made him forge the contract. You committed a crime, Cody Rhodes. You deserve to be in jail, Cody Rhodes. You did the wrong thing. You're a heel, Cody Rhodes. And I am the only person that sees you. Everybody's so caught up in adrenaline in my soul. Something, something, Cody Rhodes. I don't even know how the stupid song goes. But y'all so caught up with him. Cody ain't here for y'all. Let's talk about Naomi. We're talking about heels. Let's talk about Naomi. She's supposed to be the villain. The fans just can't stop cheering her. We got a triple threat match with Naomi, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. Let me tell you this from being there in person. Listen to me. I was there in person. I paid my good money to sit there in MetLife Stadium. And the building shook. The building shook when Naomi came out. Yep. The crowd loves Naomi. Don't let nobody bamboozle you, flim-flam you, or scam you. Let me tell you why people love Naomi. First off, I want to say that I am glad. Hey, what's up, Universal? Thank you for joining. I didn't see you yesterday. I don't have a voice. I went to SummerSlam last night, the night before, did 2 podcast episodes. I'm screaming, crashing out. I'm trying my best, but thank you so much for joining me. I don't think that it was in Naomi's bucket list to get her dad to play her. That's her dad. You can tell they got the same exact face, right? He just got the man face and she got the woman face, right? And it's one of those things that it's like, you get to live your dream. Your dad got to live his dream and be a guitarist, but you get to live your dream. You get to create a life for yourself that's different than others. And you've got your dad playing you to the ring. Don't get it wrong, right? We all got our favorite bands or music. We all want them. I would love for Jay-Z to rap me to the ring. That sounds weird. I would love for Jay-Z to lay down some lyrical music for me with the microphone as I'm walking to the ring. And I think it's cool that it's not just any artist. I think it's even better that it's her dad. So that's a moment there that if I was Naomi, I would take that photo. There's a photo of her where she's walking down with her dad. She has her arm on her shoulder. That's a photo. If I was Naomi, I'd want it. If I was her dad, I would want that photo. Because you raised that little girl up. She went on to be right now one of the most popular people in the WWE. And you got to play her to the ring. But Naomi's a heel. And everybody cheers Naomi. Why? Why? Naomi pulled the tights to win, and nobody booed Naomi. Why? I'll tell you why. Because people don't care. I think that Naomi being a heel is much better than her being a babyface, because she's a heel. She's a bad guy. Naomi's a bad guy to the people that are in the ring with her, but you can't deny Naomi, the people that are watching from the outside. Pro wrestling, WWE, takes place in this bubble. And we fans, we're outside the bubble. And for us watching outside the bubble, we're like, well, how can you really cheer Naomi? Right? You're talking about being with the Usos since day one, right? Naomi is married to half of the Usos. Not half of them, just one of the Uso brothers. She's married to Jimmy Uso. And just like they're talking about down since day one, a lot of us has been down with Naomi since day one. A lot of us remember Naomi when she came out there with the glow. And if you ask me, I think the glow was goofy. But now that Naomi gets to be herself, I think it's amazing. How did Naomi get here? She had to win the tag team championship with Sasha Banks and be unhappy and leave. We never really got the real story for that. We never got the real story for that. And I think that we got to see her go in the indies, go to TNA, make a name for herself, and she came back. And now she's at the top of the game where she rightfully belonged. Let's look at the comments. Universal says he's concerned of what I is and will have to say. Look, sometimes I don't know what I'm going to say. Sometimes I just crash out. Thanks, Universal. Hill Vega said that he was there live. You will hear some stuff. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Let's see. Heel Vegas said, Naomi held the tights in a triple threat. No DQ or consequence for that. Right? Perfect. Triple threat 101. Do what you want. Universal's number one right now in the chat. He's beating Heel Vega, so Heel Vega, you need to step it up. Universal said that he shared this already. This is Naomi's last run. This is why her dad was there. Look, Universal. You're still kayfabe. I don't know if you work for the WWE or not, but you know what? I'll tell you this. When Naomi retires after this last run, I'm going to say, you know what? I want you to come back and I want you to say, you know what? I told you, Tristan, this was her last run. Ha, ha, ha. You can laugh in my face and it's all right. We'll shake hands and bro it out or bro and sis it out. Not sure because you're running behind a name and I don't know who you are, but I don't want to know who you are. I like this mystery. One day we are going to meet and you see I'm at 503 subscribers. I am growing. One day I'm going to have an event where I can meet everybody and you're going to be one of the people that says, I'm Universal. What if there's a bunch of people standing around a t-shirt that says, I'm Universal, and I don't really know who? There's only one way that I'm going to be able to tell when it's really you. I want you to show me your YouTube account where it says Universal. And I'm going to say, I can't say bro or sis. I don't know, but we're going to take a picture. Let's keep it secret. But yeah, so yeah, he said before, Universal has said before that Naomi's planning to have a baby or planning to leave because she wants to have a baby. So yeah, we'll just have to stay tuned. But you know what? I'm glad for what we're getting right now. Naomi is a heel, but we all love her because you know what? Her actions are justified. Because when Naomi was running around, dancing around, all the opportunities were dancing around her. Yeah, Naomi was the women's champion. I think she was the SmackDown's women's champion before. She came out with her little glow-in-the-dark belt. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Naomi got a glow-in-the-dark belt. But what Naomi is doing right now, I think that Naomi is making magic. Naomi's making magic, and I'm glad that she got to spend that opportunity with her father. I still think they should have put her into the Bloodline storyline, but I don't know. Roman Reigns just need to get his shoes back from Bronson Reed. And if he wants to get his shoes back from Bronson Reed, what he needs to do is he needs to utilize the family. There's a lot of them. Use your family, bruh. From celebration to destruction, let's talk about that TLC a little bit. That TLC was a war that took out nearly every tag team on SmackDown. I loved the tribute. I remember watching the tables match with the Dudleys and the Hardys. I love watching everything that had to go on with the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian. I grew up in that time. That is my era. I remember watching it and being just like, I don't know. I was just like so enamored by it. That's the time when WWF No Mercy came out and you were able to relive the title, the table matches, the ladder matches. You were able to relive all of that on your Nintendo 64. So for them to show us the Hardys and the Dudleys at ringside, unfortunately, they couldn't show us Edge and Christian because they're contracted to AEW. We know they're already, not a secret. But it was nice to pay homage. I think they said it was 25 years since it happened. I don't know. Sometimes I laugh because I take a look at the comments and I see what everybody's talking about in the comments. That's why you have to watch the Tristan Law Show live. I'm getting ready to do a 500 subscriber episode. I'm going to sit down. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be candid with you. I'm going to tell you about the journey, how I got here, may have a guest star or two, going to open up the hotline, let everybody talk, because this here has been a journey. This has been work. In order for me to get here today, I had to come from way back there. We're going to talk about that, right? I'm going to celebrate all 500 of the subscribers, 503. The 503 people that helped build the blocks to the Tristan Law Show. We're going to talk about that. It was tables, ladders, chairs. It was chaos. DIY nearly won. Johnny Gargano, he's going to be sleeping on the couch for a long time because Candice LeRae, she went flying through the ladder. Bro, how do you push your wife through the ladder? How do you explain that? We're talking Kate. We're talking storyline. We're not talking about in real life. We know it was a part of the show. Just work with me. Shut up. How do you push your wife through the ladder? What your wife was even doing out there either way. And you got B-Fab out there. You know who I really want to see come out with the Street Profits? I'm not going to lie, I'm going to say it. Bianca Belair. I want to see Bianca Belair. I love Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is probably my most favorite woman on the main roster, and I'm not just saying that because she's black. Because I like Naomi. Okay, Naomi's black, but I like Charlotte Flair. I love watching Charlotte Flair wrestle, and I'm looking at it from the lens of a pro wrestler. Uncle Howdy. It's so cool when you get to watch WWE live and in person because you get to see the things that the camera angle doesn't show you. You see Uncle Howdy sitting on the chair, and then you see him walk down, walk back, walk down, walk back. Then eventually Andrade puts hands and feet on him, and then he's down. Andrade shut him down. Universal, you are right. Bianca's not medically cleared. Maybe this week. I don't know. Look, I just want to see her so badly. She's my favorite wrestler. I love when she comes out there with the hair whip. And it's like, look, I got a friend who is a pro wrestler. He was my protege. He was somebody that I helped bring up in the wrestling business. And he's getting ready to have a birthday bash. Maybe I can get him on to talk about his birthday bash show that's coming up. But his name is Beautiful Buddy Thomas. Look him up. He has a YouTube channel. And what he does is he comes to the ring with an umbrella. And he'll jump off the top rope holding the umbrella. He uses the umbrella and stuff like that. That's his gimmick. It's something that makes him memorable. He wrestled for GCW this last weekend, doing SummerSlam weekend. And it was like in a battle royal. And I said, because of that umbrella, it made you the most memorable person. Yeah, somebody won. People remember the person that won, but you were the most memorable person. Hey, remember that umbrella guy? They might not know his name, but he's the umbrella guy. Same thing with Bianca Belair. You may not know who she is if it's your first time watching wrestling, but you know that's the girl with the long hair. And because of that, she's memorable and she stands out in your eyes. And that's why that's one of the reasons I like Bianca Belair. She's athletic, she wrestles real well. But let's get back to this TLC match. That Wyatt 6, they won. Honestly, I didn't see any way out of this match other than the Wyatt 6. The Wyatt 6, they definitely solidified their dominance. The Wyatt 6, though, I remember seeing Bray Wyatt's entrance at SummerSlam 2019 when they were in Toronto, and it's creepy when you see it in person. I think that because the sun was still setting and it wasn't down, I'm talking about in person. The sun was still setting and it wasn't down. You didn't get the full exposure of what it was supposed to be. It was fun to watch, right? With the smoke, you could see him smoking it out. But I felt that if it was at nighttime and you could see the lights much brighter in person, I think it might have had a different effect on it altogether. Coincidentally, 25 years ago, Bubba and Devon Dudley were in the tables match, the TLC match, right? I went to the Dudley Boys school, their first school, when they were doing the school together in Florida, in Kissimmee, Florida. Now, Devon has his own school and Bubba has his own school, which is great. You still get the same exact training, but from two different parts of the country. You don't have to travel just to Florida. I think that was awesome because Dexter Loomis, who also went to Team 3D Academy when I went there, that he got to be in that in that match 25 years later. I think that's cool. I think that's real cool. Sometimes it's just that you don't understand just how lucky you just get to be in things, how things just fall into your lap. I don't know. But I think that what happened with the tag team titles for SmackDown coming out of that match is that I feel that tag team wrestling matters again. I feel that tag team wrestling is really important on SmackDown, and we need to start watching a little bit more SmackDown, paying attention to the tag team division. Those guys are trying to forge their own ways. The Motor City Machine Guns, they came over from TNA, from wrestling in TNA. I loved them when they was in TNA because I watched a lot of TNA when I was a younger guy. Not old now, I'm just young, right? Black don't crack unless you smoke it. Motor City Machine Guns, the Wyatt Six, the Street Profits, right? Everybody wants the Street Profits to break up because everybody feels that Montez Ford is the breakout star. I don't know. That's something we're going to have to keep on watching. Do they have to break up in order for Montez to be the breakup star? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Heel Vega says that he loves himself some Bianca Belair. Well, I love me some Bianca Belair too. I'm glad that we agree on something. Now, if you thought that was wild, wait till you hear what Becky Lynch did with a bunch of zip ties in the toolbox. I think it was wild. It was a no DQ, no count out, but Becky Lynch, she goes full cycle heel. Becky Lynch, she got her new music. And the stipulation was of the match was that if Lyra Valkyria lost the match, that Lyra Valkyria would never get the challenge for the Intercontinental Championship again while Becky Lynch has it. Well, Bayley came out and accidentally punches Lyra with a chain. Accidental or not, I would have an issue if I was Lyra Valkyria with Bayley. Because Bayley punches Lyra in the face with the chain. But that's just me being emotional. When you really sit down and think about it, it's like, okay, so I lost. I can't challenge for the Intercontinental Championship again. Big whoop. But let me tell you why it's not really a big problem. Because Lyra, just go challenge for the Women's World Championship. Just go challenge for the WWE Women's Championship. Yeah! Why sit there and worry about the fact that you can't challenge for a main event title? Now, you know what, girl? If Becky Lynch wants to be mid-card so bad, let Becky Lynch be mid-card. What you're going to do is you're going to just leave her to mid-card and go be a main eventer. That's fine. When she's ready for you, she comes sees you. That's a stupid stipulation. Why would she even book herself in that match to begin with? The twist tie, I think there was an issue with the twist tie from where we were sitting. It was kind of hard to watch, and like she couldn't break the twist tie and stuff like that. That's why they use twist ties to arrest people and doing big like mass protests or stuff like that. They use the zip cuffs or whatever they call them. Like, you think he was going to break that, Lyra? You're not Mark Henry. You could have. Oh my God, I think that was kind of crazy. But Becky won. Lyra can't challenge again while Becky's the champ. And I think it's time that Lyra moves up and she's in the main event picture. I'm not going to lie. I don't like Bird Girl too much. Bird Girl doesn't do it for me. She doesn't do it for me. Universal says that Lyra screwed up in the match with the cuffs. Major screw up that everyone saw on the monitor. You see that saw on the monitor. Which monitor? Are you talking about the monitor in your house? Are you talking about the big screen in the arena or the monitors in the back? Don't answer that question. Don't answer that question. But thank you for your comment. But he agrees, though, with the stip. It shouldn't have had it. Yeah, it shouldn't have had it. Heel Vega says that Lyra's an amazing talent, though. Despite the botch, she moved past it pretty well. I don't like the word botch. I'm not saying that you can't use it, right? We're all open to use whatever word that we want to use, right? But I don't like the word botch. Let me tell you why I don't like the word botch. I don't like the word botch because when you are fighting in real life, and sometimes you throw a punch, sometimes you might accidentally slip on your 2 feet. You might throw a kick, and instead of kicking the person, you might slip and fall and knock yourself out. It's happened. Watch it on YouTube. But I'll tell you this. I don't like the word botch. Because you don't know what's really supposed to happen. Remember, you're supposed to be in suspense. When you're watching a movie and some mishap happens in the movie, you don't call it a botch. You don't call it a botch. So that's why I'm not a fan of the term botch. I've wrestled. Have I had a botch before? Yeah, we've had a botch before. But sometimes you put a botch in the match because it's a part of the story. I don't know. Heel Vega says, oh, please, the fans are too busy doing the wave to see that mishap. I'm not going to lie. 100%, yes, that means that you were there in person, Heel. Actually, yeah, you were. People were doing the wave and throwing around beach balls doing the Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch match. I think that maybe they were bored with the match. Maybe they weren't emotionally invested in the match. Not gonna lie. Lyra Valkyria at this point in storyline should just go to the main event picture. Leave Becky Lynch. But she's gonna be emotional and have to deal with Bayley first. Just charge your losses to the game and just move on. But Lyra Valkyria doesn't do it for me. Lyra Valkyria does not tickle my fancy, and I just don't let anybody tickle my fancy. I don't know. This is what I thought. Well, let's lock in that cage. But remember, let's talk about that cage match and the person who leapfrogged the entire bloodline. We're going to be talking about Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa, but I want to know your match of the night, your moment of the night, most rewatchable moment and wrestle of the night. We're going to talk about that after the Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles match. But listen to me when we talk to you about Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu, his rise is insane. If I'm not mistaken, maybe last year, I think I seen Jacob Fatu right before. It might have been 2023, late 2023. I saw Jacob Fatu on the Indies. I heard of Jacob Fatu from MLW being on the Indies. Being on the Indies, you might not get to see a lot of people, but what happens is that you get to hear from a lot of people. You hear about a lot of people. And getting to see him wrestle in Bushwick, Brooklyn, might have been 2023. I was like, yeah, this guy is it. This guy is it. And Jacob Fatu made his debut in June 2024 to WWE. And in August 2025, that guy has been a United States champion. That guy wrestled in SummerSlam. He's wrestled at WrestleMania. That guy, Jacob Fatu, his debut, his rise is insane. You have to give Jacob Fatu his credit. Jacob Fatu leapfrogged the bloodline. Jacob Fatu has the potential to be bigger than Roman Reigns. I said it. You want another hot take? Jacob Fatu has the potential to be bigger than The Rock. Jacob Fatu came into the bloodline with Solo Sikoa with so much personality that he outshined everybody in the bloodline. Solo Sikoa is just starting to show his personality, and if you ask me, he's a day late and $1 short. Nothing wrong with Solo Sikoa. But in that match, I think that Jacob Fatu is the bigger star. And I think that because you put Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa together in the story, that's going to help that's going to help Solo Sikoa. That's going to help his star power rise up. Why in the world would you ever want to be in a cage with a guy that calls himself the Samoan werewolf? Why? Why? I don't want to be in the cage with anybody that calls himself the Samoan werewolf. That might have been the day I used a sick day. Hello, job. I can't show up today because I'm sick. But nope, Solo Sikoa shows up. And in order for Solo Sikoa to win that match, he had to have friends. Listen to me. I am the person that drops the logic here for you. I am the person that helps make a lot of things make sense for you sometime. And somebody had the audacity, the nerve, the testicular fortitude to say that Solo Sikoa only wins matches when he has help. So like, we're just going to forget Roman Reigns altogether? We're just going to pretend like Roman Reigns doesn't exist? Like Roman Reigns was inside the bloodline when he was leading the bloodline, when the original version of the bloodline? Every big match, Roman Reigns needed help to win. Roman Reigns didn't win a big match by himself. Never. Never. In order for Roman Reigns to win a big match, the Usos had to come out. In order for Roman Reigns to win a big match, Sami Zayn had to come out. Universal is fighting me right now, and he said, and I love people's opinions. He says that Jacob Fatu could be bigger than Roman, but not bigger than Dwayne. Let me tell you why I agree with that. I agree with your statement. Because right now, I feel that the reason why that Dwayne, Big Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Mr. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. The only reason that Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Big Dwayne, Dwayne Pooh, whatever you want to call him, the only reason I think that he's bigger than that he's the biggest star right now from the Samoan dynasty is because he went to Hollywood. So maybe I don't see Jacob Fatu going to Hollywood. And I think that Jacob Fatu, he'll be typecasted. I can't see Jacob Fatu playing any of the roles that The Rock has played. I see Jacob Fatu being typecasted into the thug. Well, I don't mean thug like hood thug. I mean thug like the henchman. Maybe he's the mastermind of the operation. I don't know. So maybe, yes, he'll be bigger than Roman Reigns. I'll agree with you. I'll backtrack my statement. He's definitely going to be bigger than Roman Reigns. And will he be bigger than The Rock? I guess we'll have to wait to see. Solo Sikoa used help to win because he's playing from the playbook of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns had the bloodline to help him, and Solo Sikoa has the MFTs to help him. They had to handcuff him, and he still broke free. Why are you going to be in a cage with a guy that calls himself the Samoan Werewolf? If I was Solo Sikoa did the right thing. You had to defend the championship because you don't want to be stripped. You put me in the cage with a guy that calls himself the Samoan Werewolf. I'm calling my friends. Not going to lie. I'm calling my MFTs. I'm calling my peeps. I'm calling my bros. I'm calling my cousins and them. Because I'm not just showing up to this so that you can bamboozle me, flim-flam me, and scab me out of the United States Championship. Nope, hell no. Jimmy Uso got a massive pop, a massive reaction to coming out and trying to help Jacob Fatu. I talk about this times that the building shook. There was an earthquake the night before in New Jersey, close to MetLife Stadium, up in Elmwood Park, New Jersey. Right up Route 3, Route 4, up Route 80, up in that area. And the building shook certain times when people came out, do different reactions at MetLife Stadium. One of the times that the building shook is when Jimmy Uso came out. If you want to know how popular somebody is, I'm telling you this, and this is from my first-hand experience of being at SummerSlam last night. You can't figure out how popular somebody is by just watching on the TV. You can't figure out how popular somebody is by just going on social media. You could find out how popular somebody is by looking in the audience and watching your TV. I'll backtrack on that just a little bit and seeing how much merchandise is being worn by the people in the arena. You can see that. But if you want to know how over, that's the term that we use in pro wrestling. If you want to know how over somebody is, you got to be there in person and use your ears. Jacob Fatu, even though he didn't come out successful in the match, Jacob Fatu, he's the future. He's now a player. But he needs some friends. He's got Jimmy Fatu. He needs more friends. He needs a tall one for Tonga. He needs another one for Tongaloa, Tonga, MG guy, all of them. He needs a lot more people. He's going to need a lot more people than what he's got. Universal says, Tristan, teaser for you, War Games in September. You know what? And Heel Vega says, Universal, you're definitely in the writers' room. Heel Vega, don't let him break kayfabe. Don't let him break kayfabe. Even when I know who he is, I promise you, I'm not telling y'all. I'm not telling y'all. I don't break kayfabe, brother. He needs help. Jacob Fatu needs help. And he needs the help right now from as many people that can help him. Yeah, they got Jimmy, but Jimmy can get Jay, and Jay can get Roman to help him. Imagine you're going to see 8 members from the bloodline on the bloodline family tree. There's one guy that's not even in the bloodline. Well, I don't care. I'm just going to mention him. And we're going to see them in War Games, but I don't see Roman Reigns going anywhere until he gets his shoes back from Bronson Reed. He's soft. He's soft like baby poop. Roman Reigns is the person that created the bloodline. He came back and allowed the bloodline to survive. And he allowed the bloodline to survive. And the issue is that Roman Reigns allowed Solo Sikoa to survive. He allowed a piece of him to walk around, call himself the bloodline so much that Roman Reigns called gimmick infringement. And so you need to find a new name to call himself the MFTs. Roman Reigns is responsible for all of this. For his shoes getting stolen. Because look who Seth Rollins is with now. The visionary, Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, with the Oracle, Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns created that. It's fallout from the bloodline. Roman Reigns left Paul Heyman for dead. He left him after the whole thing when he lost the belt to Cody Rhodes. So much that Paul Heyman was mistreated by Solo Sikoa, that Paul Heyman had to go find a new family. That's why he's where he is right now. That when Roman Reigns had the opportunity to get rid of Solo Sikoa, he let him survive. He beat him. He's like a roach. You killed one, you didn't get rid of the whole entire family, you didn't get the nest. And that's the problem. So after Roman Reigns, this is how I see it. After Roman Reigns is done with Seth Rollins and them, and please, dude, get your shoes back. He's going to circle back around to War Games, and he's going to be a part of them, and he's going to do it. Heel Vega says that Roman Reigns isn't soft. Yeah, all right. All right, now let's talk about another surprise. Dominic Mysterio beating AJ Styles, and yes, the boos are beautiful. They're beautiful. Look, AJ, when I looked at that match, there's only two things I saw. It was Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio being Dominic Mysterio, and Eddie Guerrero being AJ Styles. Eddie Guerrero came out in the Eddie Guerrero gear. He came out in the lowrider. I think that paid homage to it. I think that was beautiful. I think that everything about that was beautiful. So you look, it's all about legacy. Like I said about Hulk Hogan in our other episode, no matter how you feel about Hulk Hogan, and if you want to know how I feel, you can watch the 4 videos I've made about Hulk Hogan. The 3 when I trashed him when he was alive, and the 1 where I talked about that the pro wrestling world is split and why, and I explained it why. I've gotten good feedback on that episode that people say, you know what, I explained it eloquently. Watch that match when you're done. But AJ Styles showed that the legacy of Eddie Guerrero is still alive, no matter what your contributions are to pro wrestling. Whether you are good, bad, or ugly on the face of this earth, no matter what, you always leave behind your legacy. No matter what you did. My legacy at this point in my life is my son. And I try to make sure that he's a good boy. He's going to grow up to be a good man. And hopefully he's going to grow up to be a good father as well too. Maybe he wants to have kids. Your legacy is what you leave behind. And when you leave behind a good legacy, like Eddie Guerrero, gone too soon, you get celebrated by future legends. You get celebrated by future Hall of Famers like AJ Styles. The chemistry between the both of them, between AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio, was great. It was great. Dom's cheating, the boot off trick, the steel chair fake out, the frog splash. This was Eddie versus Rey in disguise. It was a good match. I enjoyed it for what it was. But let me tell you, even though Dominic Mysterio won, I'm going to tell y'all this. Regardless of what you see on the television, in real life, when you're in the arena, people love to cheer Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio is the wrestler that you love to hate. At first, Dominic Mysterio was looking for himself, and then he went to jail. When Dominic Mysterio went to jail, I think that's when he became goofy. He became a little bit too goofy. And when he became goofy, that's when people were like, come on, bro, you didn't go to jail. But he became funny. It became the guy that you point at and you're like, you know what? That's the guy that I love to hate. I love to hate him. You love to hate Dominic. Dominic comes out there for the pre-show and people cheer. People boo him. But the boos, let me tell you something. When I was wrestling in the ring, I never liked to be cheered because I was the heel. 9 times out of 10, I always wanted to be booed. Boo the shit out of me. That's what I like. Boo me. Boo me. For Dominic Mysterio, you're really cheering him. But you're not even really booing him because it's fun to boo Dominic Mysterio. It's fun that when Dominic Mysterio picks up the mic, everybody goes boo. It's fun to do. It's a part of the realm of WWE. It's a part of being a WWE universe. I loved that match. I didn't see AJ Styles losing that match because the Intercontinental Championship is one championship that has escaped AJ Styles. So now it's like, what's next? What's next? Will he go back to stalking AJ Styles again? I don't know. We just have to keep looking. But let's zoom out now because this whole weekend was special and I got 4 awards to give out for the night. I want to know what your match of the night was. I want to know what your moment of the night was. I want to know what your most rewatchable moment of night 2 was, and I want to know your wrestler of the night. This is probably the best SummerSlam that I've seen in person in years. I've been to 2018 in Barclays Center, and I was in 2019 at Toronto. Watching with the fans, though, in person is everything. It's a part of the whole entire enjoyment. Watch wrestling in person. Spend the money. If you can't afford to sit close, go sit up top, because you have fans that are there with you that are just happy to be there. If you can't afford to sit in the top, listen to me, find independent wrestling. My friend Cheyenne Ortiz, you can find and go to the playlist and then go down to the bottom, friends of the show. Heel Vega's one of them. And you're going to choose Cheyenne Ortiz. And what you're going to do is you're going to go and he tells you where to find independent wrestling. Watch wrestling in person. Watch it in person. Even though we had an obstructed view, it was still fun just to be around everybody, for me to let my fandom out. You know, I did the heat in person. You know, I did all the stuff. I was hoping that Lyra Valkyrie didn't come out with the bird thing, none of that. It was fun to watch in person. I even had me a Cutwater. Do you guys know what Cutwater is? It's this new alcoholic thing. They were selling it. It's for adults. They were selling it at the MetLife Stadium. I said, you know, let me try one. I was finished real quick. Didn't have much food in my stomach, but I was able to maintain. Cody Rhodes, Naomi, Jacob Fatu, Brock Lesnar. We didn't even expect Brock Lesnar, but it all delivered, if you ask me. Let me go ahead and give you my match of the night. My match of the night is the match that broke records in MetLife Stadium for the WWE. This match is the longest match that WWE has ever had in MetLife Stadium. This is looking at SummerSlam Night 1 for this year, Night 2, WrestleMania 35, and WrestleMania 29. That all took place in MetLife Stadium. My match of the night is Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. That match went, 36, 37 minutes? And that match was a passing of the torch moment that John Cena took the torch and gave the torch to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is the guy. You remember how they said that Roman Reigns is going to be the guy that's going to be feeding a lot of people for the next coming years? That's Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is a heel, but he's parading around as a babyface. And I can't wait for him to break your heart. I can't wait for all of you to burn on your Cody Rhodes merch, because Cody Rhodes broke your heart. Because don't forget, you broke his first. John Cena turning heel, then turning babyface. The babyface the turn from babyface, from heel to babyface is kind of silly. Just came out on one night and said, you know what, I'm a babyface now. Just want you to know. Thanks for coming. Kind of goofy. But my match of the night is definitely Cody versus Cena. My moment of the night was Brock Lesnar's return. I said it 100%. I'll tell you this. I knew that there was going to be some tomfoolery at the end of that match. There had to be, because Triple H said it himself. Oh, if you liked night 1, well, you've seen nothing yet when it comes to night 2. And at that point, when that final bell rang, people started leaving the arena. I'll be honest with you, we didn't really see anything yet. We got a good main event match. We got to see AJ Styles parade around as Eddie Guerrero. We got to see someone who was crazy enough to lock themselves in the cage with a guy called a Samoan werewolf. I don't know. But Brock Lesnar's return, I didn't see that coming. Heel Vega, he called that yesterday, live here. That's where you got to watch the Tristan Law show live. But Brock Lesnar's return was amazing. The building shook when Brock Lesnar came out. The air was sucked out of the arena when Brock Lesnar came out, because it's not who you expected. The look on John Cena's face sold it 100%. John Cena knows that he's in trouble. John Cena built his career off the back of Brock Lesnar, and now in order for him to get out of the WWE, he has to go past Brock Lesnar. The question that I'm asking myself, though, is why Brock? Why? Why John Cena? Why now? Why not CM Punk? Why not Roman Reigns? Why not Cody Rhodes? You're going to have to watch Monday Night Raw if you want to know. Moment of the night, Brock Lesnar's return. Most rewatchable moment? Look, I'm going to take all these moments and I'm just going to put them into one. The entire TLC match. All of those that one match had a bunch of rewatchable moments. Candace going through the ladders, the Spanish fly onto the table, everything. That whole entire match is just one rewatchable moment. It was a car crash like it was supposed to be, but what else did you expect? 25 years since the first TLC match with the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian, what do you expect? Bravo to all 6 teams in tandem that went in there and did their thing in that match. Now, for Wrestler of the Night, let me tell you. There are so many people that I can pick from night 2. If you want to hear what I picked for night 1, go watch that. John Cena. Let me tell you why. John Cena is the Wrestler of the Night. When you come in through pro wrestling school, one of the things they always teach you is that when you come into pro wrestling, you're going to have to leave it one day. We all have to leave pro wrestling. I might have left it, I don't know, semi-retired, retired, I don't know. One day I'll make a decision. If you never see me come back, I guess you could say I'm always semi-retired, I don't know. But you're always told that when you come into the wrestling business, you need to leave it better than you found it. And I think that John Cena is leaving the pro wrestling business better than he found it. John Cena came into the WWE and was a guy that was almost fired. He was a guy that was almost sent packing. John Cena could have went to go work for TNA. John Cena could have been one of the faces of AEW right now. John Cena could have been a big name on the indies. Could have got fired from the WWE. But instead, they let him come out on the microphone, do some rapping, and he got to really be himself. Regardless, we might have booed Cena. Cena was the person that they put the WWE on his back, went out there, did everything that he was doing. Everybody booed Cena, love him or hate him. You got to give Cena some credit. Cena is the greatest of all time. Cena went out there last night. Cena is in a position to where he can write his own retirement. Yeah, Bill Goldberg is upset that he's not getting the John Cena treatment, but you know what? Respectfully, Bill Goldberg, you're not John Cena. You're not a WWE creation like John Cena. John Cena is pretty much homegrown for the WWE. John Cena had to live in his car in order to get to where he is today. In order for John Cena to be where he is today, he had to live in his car. In order for John Cena to be where he is today, John Cena almost had to get fired from the WWE. John Cena, just like me, grew up in the Northeast region of the United States. And because of that, he's a WWE guy through and through. That's what he watched. That's what he loved. And he got to live his dream. John Cena, you did well. You were the Wrestler of the Night for me in SummerSlam Night 2, 2025 in MetLife Stadium, because you passed the torch to Cody Rhodes. You think that Cody Rhodes' match, where he had to finish his story, or Cody Rhodes' match against his brother in AEW was the biggest match of his career? No. The biggest match of Cody Rhodes' career was against John Cena in MetLife Stadium. John Cena is a legend that he doesn't have to give as much as he gives to Cody Rhodes. John Cena didn't have to lay down and let Cody Rhodes win then. They could have met sometime later on. But John Cena is not only leaving the wrestlers that he's touched better than he found it. I'm talking about like R-Truth. What's up with R-Truth? I don't know. Ron Killings. I don't know what we're supposed to call him. But not only is John Cena leaving the wrestlers that he's touched better than he's found them, he's leaving the WWE better than when he found it. We didn't know that we needed Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. We didn't know that, but we're getting that. And that alone is going to make WWE much better, keep it where it is, not saying that WWE is bad. And because of that, all of pro wrestling will do well. Let's go to the chat one last time. Universal said that Paul Heyman created the Bloodline name. Teaser for tonight, new nickname for Seth Rollins to be revealed. It will be The Vision. Okay. Heel Vegas says AJ stalked Dom. What did I say? Bro, I used to get hit in the head. I say things crazy all the time. Universal said that AJ loved doing it. Heel Vegas says that Universal agreed. You can tell that he enjoyed the storyline. Yeah, it was a really fun storyline. Heel Vega, who was also in attendance in MetLife, said, Tristan, did you get any of those margarita slushies? I had one for myself and it was delicious. Yes, I had it on night 1. It was good. There wasn't much alcohol in it, but I was there for a long time. Not a good time. Universal says, Heel, you knew how? Who told you? I want names. Universal said, just kidding. That was SummerSlam Night 2. I want to thank everybody for their comments, whether you're watching this live or on demand, whether you're listening to the audio-only version of the Tristan Law Show of me covering Night 2. I want to thank you. Because without you, there'd be no me. I'd just be a random guy just yelling to a microphone with nobody here to watch. It was an emotional roller coaster for me going to SummerSlam over both nights. It was fun, and I told my friend Lewis that I went with that I'm glad I could have went with anybody. Personally, I would have went with myself. I go to the movies by myself all the time. I love taking myself out. But I'm glad that I went there with him. I'm glad that I got to experience going to MetLife Stadium by going to Port Authority Bus Terminal and taking the 351, the Mid-Atlantic Express bus. It drops you off directly at the stadium. If you're ever going to MetLife Stadium for any way and you can get to Port Authority Bus Terminal, do that. You don't have to pay for parking. They have a VIP section to where the bus bypasses all the traffic and you're gone. You're back to New York City in at least 20 minutes. So you can go where that you have to go. I am glad that at this point I don't really have much of a voice. It's kind of gone. But I'm glad that I got the opportunity to see John Cena's last SummerSlam. I wasn't a John Cena fan. I didn't cheer John Cena. I wasn't a fan of John Cena in doing his big run because he had the 5 moves of doom. When I was taught in pro wrestling school the stuff that John Cena did, I couldn't get away with doing that stuff. But you know why John Cena could? Because he's John Cena. I cheered John Cena last night. I clapped for John Cena because I understood what he's done for pro wrestling. I understood what he's done for people that come after him. And only at this point, I think the best is yet to come. We're going to be coming back with some interviews. We got some interviews coming. You know, I had a friend that was here on season 2, it might have been. Big Cal Stevens. He was with the WWE doing the tryout this week. I want to get him on. Nick Shin was there. I want to see if I can get him on as well, too. Nick Shin was the guy that was with Jelly Roll that was helping him out. He's the referee. You know, I want to start going back to some interviews in season 4. Once I get my personal schedule tied down a lot more, I'm going to bring you guys at least 2 interviews per month. I'm going to make you that promise. Keep it locked because we are going to be doing the 500th subscriber episode, and I can't wait. You're going to see some vulnerability of me. I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite episodes since I've been taking everything seriously on YouTube in the last year. We're going to do a recap of season 3. There's a lot of moments and a lot of growth that happened for me in season 3. There's a lot of embarrassing moments that happened for me in season 3, and we're going to talk about that as well too. But Cena's era might be closing. John Cena's his era might be closing, but Cody's, trust me when I tell you, Cody Rhodes is just getting started, and Brock Lesnar is coming for blood. But why? Thank you so much for joining me here on the Tristan Law Show. If you like what I did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Don't make me your little dirty secret. I'll be back soon. Just keep it locked. Make sure you subscribe so you can see when I'm back. I'm Tristan Law. This is the Tristan Law Show. Thank you so much for hanging out. Make sure you go watch Night 1's recap. And what do I normally say about this? Oh, I'm Tristan Law, and I'll see you next time.